The colony market was winding down for the evening, vendors shuttering their stalls as the twin suns dipped beneath the jagged horizon. Elias Trent adjusted the strap on his pack and headed toward the exit, the scent of spice and smoke still heavy in the air. He had traded engine parts for dried fruit and bread, supplies to last a week. That's when he saw her. A child. Small, maybe 7 or 8. Skin a soft shade of pale lavender, large amber eyes glinting in the fading light. Her clothes were little more than worn scraps, and her tiny hands clutched an empty basket. She lingered near the edge of the stalls, watching with hunger as merchants packed away what food remained. Elias slowed. He had seen plenty of struggling locals, but something about her, those solemn eyes, pulled at him. He reached into his pack, pulled out a wrapped portion of flatbread and fruit, and crouched. "Here," he said gently. "Take it." The girl's eyes widened. She hesitated, glancing around, as if afraid someone might scold her. But finally, she stepped forward and accepted the food with trembling hands. "Thank you," she whispered. "You're welcome." Elias smiled, ready to move on. But then she surprised him. "I heard you want a wife," she said suddenly, her little voice earnest. "My mother is perfect for you." Elias blinked, stunned. "I what?" The girl tore a bite of bread and chewed, then nodded seriously. "You're kind. You gave me food. Men who give food would make my mother smile again." And with that, before Elias could respond, she grabbed his hand with sticky fingers and tugged him toward the alleys beyond the market. Elias should have walked away. He wasn't searching for a wife, nor was he in the habit of following strange children through alien districts. But something in her voice, the desperate hope behind it, stopped him. So he followed. The alleys twisted into narrow passageways lined with old stone and tangled vines. Lanterns glowed dimly, illuminating murals of creatures long extinct. Finally, the girl stopped in front of a small dwelling half hidden by ivy. Its door hung slightly askew. Inside, it smelled faintly of herbs and wood smoke. A fire burned low in a stone hearth, casting light across the figure seated on the floor. She was tall, her frame lithe and strong despite weariness. Skin the same pale lavender as her daughter's, streaked faintly with silver patterns that glimmered in the firelight. Her hair, dark and bound in simple braids, framed high cheekbones and eyes of molten gold. The woman looked up as they entered, and her gaze fell on Elias like a weight. "Kaya," she said to the girl, voice deep and calm. "Who is this?" "The child," Kaya grinned. "Mama, he gave me food. He is kind. And he wants a wife." The woman blinked, then looked at Elias with narrowed eyes. Elias rubbed the back of his neck. I don't want to intrude." "Your daughter," she misunderstood. Kaya crossed her arms, stubborn. "You said you wanted someone to share meals with, Mama. Someone to help fix the roof. He can do that." Elias chuckled nervously. "She's matchmaking, I think." The woman's stern expression softened into something weary, almost amused. "My daughter has a wild imagination. I am Lyra." "Elias," he replied. Despite the awkward introduction, Elias stayed a while. Lyra offered him tea brewed from local herbs, strong, bitter, but warming. Kaya chattered between mouthfuls of fruit, telling him about the garden that no longer grew, about her father who had gone to the stars and didn't come back. Lyra said little, only listened with a patience born of long suffering. Elias noticed how carefully she folded her hands, how she carried herself with dignity despite the worn clothes and patched roof. When he finally stood to leave, Kaya clung to his sleeve. "Come back tomorrow? Please?" Elias hesitated, then nodded. The next day, he returned with fresh tools and a roll of repair mesh. Kaya beamed. See, Mama? He does want to fix the roof. Lyra gave him a long look but allowed it. Together, Elias climbed the rooftop and patched the holes, while Kaya scampered up the ladder to help by handing him nails. From above, Elias could see the settlement spread across the valley, smoke rising, people moving like ants. When he climbed down, Lyra had prepared stew with the last of their vegetables. She served him a bowl. It was simple but delicious. This is more than you owe me, Elias said softly. Lyra shrugged. Kindness is a debt I can pay only with what I have. For the first time, she smiled. Days turned to weeks. Elias found himself returning often, bringing scraps from the market, fixing broken furniture, showing Kaya how to sand wood or polish tools. Lyra slowly lowered her guard. She told him of her people, once proud hunters of the high plains, now pushed to the colony margins. Her husband had been conscripted by raiders years ago, never to return. She had been raising Kaya alone ever since. You've done well, Elias said one evening, as Kaya slept curled on a blanket. Lyra shook her head. She deserves more. More than I can give. She deserves you, Elias countered. And that's enough. Their eyes met, and for a moment, the silence between them carried more weight than words. But the colony was not safe. Raiders prowled the outskirts, preying on the weak. One night, they came. Shouts split the air. Fire flared beyond the alleys. Elias rushed to Lyra's home just as a raider burst through the door. Kaya screamed. Elias lunged, grappling the armored man. They crashed against the table, splintering wood. The raider's knife flashed, grazing Elias's arm. Then suddenly the man crumpled. Lyra stood behind him, a heavy iron pan in her hands. Her eyes blazed with fury. Together, they barred the door and held through the night until the colony militia drove the raiders off. When dawn came, Elias sat nursing his arm. Lyra tended the wound, her touch gentle but firm. You risked your life for us, she said quietly. I'd do it again, Elias replied. Kaya yawned, rubbing her eyes. See, Mama? I told you, he was perfect. Lyra laughed softly then, a sound Elias had never heard from her before. It was warm.
Real.
Weeks later, the market bustled again. Elias walked with Kaya on one side and Lyra on the other. People glanced their way, curious, some even smiling. Kaya tugged his hand. Does this mean you're staying? Elias looked at Lyra. She met his gaze, her golden eyes steady. If you wish it, she said. He smiled. I do. Kaya grinned triumphantly. I told you, Mama. Perfect. Elias chuckled, lifting the girl into his arms. And as the suns dipped low once more, he realized something he'd never expected when he first offered that piece of bread. He hadn't just given food to a hungry child. He'd found a family.